Hi and welcome. My name is Tolan and I'm the co-founder of Productivity Me. In this video, we're going to look at how to use keyboard shortcuts to more efficiently use Microsoft Excel objects, macros, and pivot tables. So we'll look at things like Ctrl D in order to duplicate an object. We'll look at launching the macro dialog box with Alt F8 or the VBA editor with Alt F11, as well as how to insert a pivot table instantly with things like Alt DP or then creating a pivot chart on a new worksheet with F11. So join us in this video and let's get started. If you want to follow along, go ahead and follow the link provided in the description of this video, and you'll be able to download this spreadsheet through a Google Doc link. So if you have done so, you should have the exercise file Apple Inc. Income Statement 2015 open on your screen as well. Now I'm going to go to the very rightmost portion of this workbook in which we have something called pivot table data. The first thing is, how do we insert something like a picture or an object? Now there's no specific keyboard shortcut which would allow you to do this, but you can use the access keys in order to insert, say, a picture like a logo. Now I can activate the access keys by pressing the Alt key, and then I'm going to press N for insert, and then you can press ZI and then P, and that would allow you to insert a picture. I'm going to scroll down and pick the Productivity Me logo. Once we have the logo up, we're probably going to have to adjust the size. So we could adjust the size by scrolling down. And then if we want to duplicate or create a copy of that, we can either press Ctrl C and then Ctrl V, or we can press Ctrl D. Ctrl D will create a copy of those individual icons. Now, if you want to hide all of the icons, all of the objects in your worksheet from view, you press Ctrl 6. Now, this would also hide all the objects on different worksheets or different worksheets in the same workbook. So if we had, say, an icon here and an icon here, if we didn't want to show this icon, we press Ctrl 6, and it's also going to hide all of those individual icons. So Ctrl 6 would bring them back. Now, if you prefer to hide one individual icon, you can do that by coming here and then going to Find and Select, going to the Selection pane, and turning that individual icon on or off. So that's kind of a way to get around Ctrl 6. All right, so if you want to select all of the objects in a specific worksheet, you would do that by clicking on one, let's click on this one, and then press Ctrl A, and then you can press, say, delete. So if we had a macro in this workbook, or we wanted to launch the macro dialog box, we do this by Alt F8. Alt F8 would launch the macro dialog box. We don't have any macros, but if we wanted to create one, we could press Alt F8, or we could actually go directly to the VBA editor, and we would do that by pressing Alt F11. So two very, very useful keyboard shortcuts. Now, if you want to, say, insert a pivot table, maybe we want to create a pivot table from this set of data, things like salesperson, the month that they were active, their sales amount, and the department. We can do that by pressing the Alt key, D as in delete, or D as in decisive, D as in data, and then we're going to press P, and that would bring up the pivot table and pivot chart wizard. So we would select our data, we're going to create a pivot table, it's going to suggest this data range, we're going to say OK, and then we'll just finish by either putting on an existing worksheet. I'm going to create a new worksheet. Hit OK. And then we can do things like salesperson and maybe the sales amount, or the sales amount by month. Or maybe we would scroll down and we'd move month over here. That would be fine too. So say that we wanted to create a actual pivot chart. We could do that by pressing F11, and we'd have that individual data for each of these individual people. So there's Jane, Miguel, and Olga. We can kind of see trends over time. Now the cool things about pivot charts is they're dynamic, so you can easily adjust them. and even change, go ahead and change them. So you could say, I don't really care about the salesperson, I just want to see sales per month. That too would be a definite possibility. Now, if we're back on our pivot table here, we could essentially select all the data in pivot table with Ctrl A, or if we want to come here, we can either press the spacebar to turn those on or off, or we can click. So there's a huge amount of things that you can do with the keyboard shortcuts that we covered in this lesson and also in this series. If you have any ideas, any comments, any questions, you can post them in the comment section of this course. So we've now arrived at the end of this series, looking at different keyboard shortcuts, some of the more common keyboard shortcuts within Microsoft Excel. If there is something that you wish we had done differently or wish that we would keep doing in future videos and future series, go ahead and let us know. The best way to do that is in the comment section, but you can also send us an email. That too would work. All right, so with that, you're on your way to becoming a keyboard ninja, a keyboard aficionado, a keyboard expert, or a keyboard shortcut expert, I guess I should say. But we appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video, and we'll see you again soon. All right, thanks for watching, and bye for now.